We have recovered numerous documents relevant to our investigation, and we're also examining computers within the office. I have major concerns, however, that efforts have been made to interfere with information relevant to our investigation. I don't dismiss the possibility of criminal charges arising from those efforts. The investigation is ongoing. However, the execution of the warrant this morning marks one of the final steps. A number of people remain to be interviewed as witnesses. However, the documentation we recovered this morning needs to be analysed, particularly forensic accounting analysis, and that may take some time.
Superintendent, on that case about the possibility of criminal charges, is it a fact that officers intercepted a bag of documents in a separate car park?
Yes, that is correct. A bag of documents was intercepted this morning.
What was happening there?
Are you suggesting the destruction of documents or the interference with witnesses?
I won't go into that with any more detail, only that I have concerns that information relevant to the investigation may have been tampered with.
And that's a separate offence?
What other evidence do you have that they may have been tampered with?
I won't go into the evidence at this point.
Superintendent, how far back are you looking? How far back does this investigation go?
This investigation goes back to a period of time from around the mid-90s.
Was it a case too that when you arrived this morning that level 2 had been locked off and that you had to get the concierge to allow police to go to level 2?
No, I think the fact the access wasn't immediately available was something normal. It wasn't there for our specific purposes.
Has the union been cooperating with today's search?
The union has been the staff within the union has been very cooperative, apart from that incident I've already mentioned.
How close to criminal charges are you?
What the allegation concerning this bag of documents is. I mean, as far as you just tell us a little bit more, just what the allegation is here.
I won't go into the allegation at this point. It needs to be investigated further.
Does it involve a senior officer of the union, Superintendent?
I won't go into any persons of interest that may be involved in that.
How close to criminal charges are you? Are we talking hours or days?
Well, once again, the evidence that we collect today needs to be forensically examined from an accounting perspective. I'm not able to provide the timings of when any criminal charges may arise. In respect to the evidence itself and the incidents of this morning, I would anticipate that if charges were preferred, they would be in the relatively near future.
The National Secretary of the Union said she had every confidence in your officers to carry out a thorough investigation, and that your techniques and the technology available to you these days would offset any disadvantage of the notice and the build-up to this raid. Has she got every right to be confident along those lines?
Well, I'm very confident that my officers have conducted a very thorough investigation thus far, and that thoroughness will continue.
Today's raid any information from the Ian Temby further to the report on Monday, and have you been provided with any information from Fair Work Australia?
We were already in possession of the information that was contained in the Temby report, so it gave us no more information that we weren't already had in our possession.
Is today's raid in response to needing more?
I'm sorry, too many questions.
The Fair Work Australia report that the government's yet to release, have you seen, that Fair Work Australia's yet to release, have you seen any of the allegations, 181 breaches of workplace laws identified in that report?
I've seen the report. The allegations are centred from a different perspective than criminal allegations.
Is today's raid in response to the Commonwealth DPP needing more evidence to act on that report?
No, today's raid was in furtherance of our investigation. It wasn't in furtherance of any inquiries being conducted by any other agency.
In terms of the documentation that you've seized,
one at a time.
In terms of the documentation that you've seized, how much of it is there, and how long will that take you to go through?
Well, I'm not able to quantify it at the moment because the warrant is still being executed. I would say that the records will be voluminous, and there'll be quite a bit of data from their computer systems.
Just how big is the team working on the investigation?
The size of the team varies dependent on the task at hand, but it is one complete team within the Fraud and Cybercrime Squad.
Can you give us an idea, Superintendent, of roughly how many people potentially might face charges? Are you talking about 1, 2 or 3 or 5? Just a rough guide along those lines?
I'd say at least one, but whether charges arise once again, we're looking at two different avenues of inquiry, one in relation to the evidence, one in relation to the inquiry.
And the accounting information, did you seize any personal items?
Not to my knowledge, we didn't seize any personal items.
Any items that may have been bought with union money?
Not at this point.
In this investigation, you've raided a house in Palm Beach, a house at the HSU branch. Have you raided anywhere else, anywhere on the Central Coast, for example?
No, those addresses are the only premises that we've executed search warrants on as such.
Do you expect to
warrants
interview that
were
person
issued
today,
on-
the person you believe that may face a charge in that one case? Do you believe you'll interview that person today?
He's already been spoken to today. We would attempt, I would think, to interview him again at a later date.
Is he in custody?
No.
Can you say how senior he was in the...
No, I don't want to comment on who that person may be or what position he held within the
Do you
union.
have any thoughts as to whether or not there may be further search warrants executed, or is this the end of the line?
There may be further warrants executed dependent on the lines of inquiry that the documents we seized today would provide us.
You've been this investigation.
The person you spoke to today, were they actually in the act of destroying documents or trying to get rid of anything?
No documents were destroyed today. I won't give any further detail than that.
Was Mr. Williamson there today?
In the union itself?
No, in the headquarters.
I won't comment on who may or may not have been present.
We've seen political developments of significance over the weekend. Your investigation's been going for 6 months. The National Secretary of the Union seemed to